Hi, I want to do a short video. I'm looking over the old rock stars, and what we have that's still active and running is from 1957. 1957, it will be 50 years. It's 48 years of space. 48 years, okay, is equivalent to the area space. If rock and roll and music history can go back to where I am looking in rock and roll right now, because it all began when the Flintstones ignited the Big Bang. And if you dare to win, and if you're smarter than Einstein, what would that mean? It would be something within your own eye. There's only one own eye, because I own the one eye of all visions, of all perceptions and smells that I ever do with two of anything that is left and right that partakes from the operator. I am the operator from right and left. I-G-H-T. G and H is a combination. H and I is a combination. How high can you go? How can we say this? Do you actually think all this numerological coincidence, this mathematical coincidence that actually talk to each other in saying hi? 9 times 8 is 72, in which 72 times 5 is 360 degrees. What now is 72? How do we get 72, and why 72? Well, if there's only one, it's one between everything, and everything is none to you because you're one. You pass and you give out to everybody you share. You're one, you're a piece and a part, then everybody's got you. But without the polar, there is no you. The exchange of the polar, instead of going through, they go through a gateway and they come back to themselves. You ever see the polars? They can go polar, right? Forget it. No polar. Your stomach polar is a right? It goes down, makes that transfer, goes to the bottom loop. So you would say these are the polars, but in between here, there's a loop. This one goes around this way, this one comes around this way. So it goes like this, it goes around and back this way. Now you got a loop in between. In between the loop, there's all pipes that connect. Anyways, I'm off the subject. But a polar to something is 2. In between the polar is 1, 1, 2, 3. To the right, it is 2. To the bottom, it is 6. We must drop to the bottom 6, but to the right and the left, only 2. We have to come up with reason why situation. Let's build. Why is it down 6? Because over, you're on the same block. Top block, middle block, low block. But when I drop down 2, I'm 2 blocks down. One, 2. From here, I am also 1, 2. But I am 1, 2, 3, 4. So from this area, I am 4. From this area, I am 6. 1 to 7 over here is 6. 3 to 7 over here is 4. There's less of numbers here. 3 to 7, 4. 1 to 7, 6. Why? I have to figure out that situation. This is what I do. Why is it also only 2 down and this is 2 over? This is 2 over, but it's in the same east-west block. Well, this is in the same north-south block. Well, I guess north-south is equal to 3 and 3, 6, and this is equal to 1 and 1, 2. 2 and 6, Venus, it's all 2 and 6, because 1 goes between the polars. 1 is not a separator, it's an add-on. I added on my to this so we can hold it. This is the additional space, or the area space that is not using space, has space right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we put 2 Rubik's Cubes together and the spacer. Do we want to talk about the KISS? 11, letter in the alphabet. The 9th, the 19th, and the 19th. 9191, 911 to begin with, 1919. All 1s and 9, artificial intelligence, must come together as 10. 2 and 9 must come together because everything stops at the 7th gate. It becomes 7 and 1 and 7 and 2. The French explain this by saying the word 10, and 10 in French is 10. 7, 8, and 9 in French. 7 is 7, 8 is 8, it's almost like suit, and 9 is 9. They say 17, 18, 19. They count separately, 10, 7, 8, and 9, and 17, 18, 19, actually saying I go from 10 backwards to 9, 8, and 7. That is 9, 8, and 7 equals to 3. 7 and 3 is 21 the cube. 7 and 3 is 10, equaling to 31 the days in a month, and 13. 13 and 31. I can show you in numbers. And in games people play, what we do at number 31. The 31st property takes you to jail in Monopoly. But if you go back 13, I think you get community chest on Monopoly the other way. Go back 3 and go forward 3. Meaning 10 becomes a number in its own. It's an area space where 1 goes through, 1 and 0 together, except the 0 is this way and the 1 is that way. There's your 10. It's in between this side and that side. It's a circle that's been split in half. You put a circle over the circle that's been split in half, and you share the put together of two sides, right? If you need to make the put together of two sides, where is that put together? It's this whole cube, right? But not really, because the reality is, when you get to the half of this cube and you want to take it, you have to cut this cube in half. Usually half of everything will slice something that is perfect in the 3 worlds right in half. In the 5 world, in the 7 world, in the 9 worlds, in the 11 worlds. But if we count the 1 world and we jump 4, we go 1, 5, and 9, 3, 5, and 7. We split it here. Each side gets half a cube. Each side gets half a cube. You get half a cube, half a cube, half a cube. Now, I've been running area blocks as 10. And what I'm going to do right now, what did I do at my, just give me a second, get my calculator out. In order to get to the next area space, it's 1, 2, 3, and then the next area space, right? Would that 0 mean we lift off a level? Now, I don't want to mix things up. That when I say what happens is you build this, and instead of tearing anything about, you dig this whole thing out in the center, and you replace it with this, and you put this in the center for that. This one will now act for everybody's here. Everybody will plug into this disk, and this disk will go right here. And no matter what happens, the center of the core of the Earth will always think it's projecting properly. Why don't we just call this the moon? And the moon projector. Everything comes off of here, it continues, it already knows. All it does is distort vibration. If we actually take this face, okay, of this calculator, or the number system where 1 ends with 10, what if this square block of 4 corners, of 4 in between, is not a count of 10? Is maybe 9 is not a count of 10, because the real count of 10 should start with 1, 2, 3. 9 does not start with 1, 2, 3. If we really want to make this a block, we have to take this, flip it upside down and put 1 here. Take this, flip it over here and put it in this area over here and put 1 here. We need 4 of these. We need 36 of these numbers to do it. Or we also can do it another way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now that's square to me. Each one of these blocks is worth 16. 1 and 6 equals 7. It shows you for the 7th gate, if we were working on 3 levels, 9 times 16. 9 times 16 is 54 and 90, 144 area block. 144, 144, 144. 144, there's 10 of them. There's 9 of them. 9 times 144 equals to 1296. With 144 and to reconnect together, we get to 1440 minutes in a day. Actual reality, we recount again, because in order to make everything a duplication of itself, you have to make a reflection. Therefore, there is no reflection. We must count to 16. 8 and 8 is 16. That is the reflection. 5, 5, 5 is 15. 2, 2, 2 is 6. 6, 15 is 6. 24, 2 and 4 is 6, 6, 6. We must create a reflection equaling to a total of 36 in a real face. So now we go 9 times 36, and we get the 324. 18 times 18 is 324, in between 1 and 5, in between the corners, right? All the blocks must run inside 9. They must create a house on this side of 9 over here in 4 different blocks by duplicating this 4 times. By doing that, the minute you open a space of 2 areas in between, you will now be separating 2 levels over here by 3. 2 levels over here, 2 levels over here, and you will now have a cross that is created in between. So now we're taking the 36, okay, which is 4 wide. You'll have 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4. You will have an extra 32 plus 4 in the center. That's another 36. So you add another 36 onto this, and you create 360 degrees because of the numbers itself. 16 times 16 equals 256. We place those all together, 2 of them in a row, and we have 512 memory all the way around, and that's how we create our 3 6s and 9. Now if I divide this by 3, what does it equal? That's not what I wanted. What was my number? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. So we can say that the reality of this, because it gets 4 corners, 4 by 4 is 16. You want to do it that way? You got 3 corners, 3 by 3 is 9. Isn't that what we did with a triangle? 3, 6, 9 out of the triangle that make 2 of these. It makes the wholeness. The wholeness is the triangle. The reflection, is it square? Talking about rounds and squares, understanding that when we talk, and you talk numbers and words, we have to understand the reality in mathematics. When we talk in elements, we have to understand in elements. If the numbers come together, how do they support in their own group? Learning numbers from the basics. I'm not an artist. I don't paint. What I do is I design. I design what I see inside formations of numbers. My mind takes me into another world that lets me do a little bit of art. Based on how I got there mentally is because of the numbers. This comes from games people play, the checkerboard, another brick on the wall, and how to connect things together. The understanding of formation. We're not looking to understand should it not. Now what I'm looking for next is we're going to work this together. We're going to design a stop sign. Okay, we've done stop signs before, right? We've all done this. It's pretty simple, right? How many corners do we have here? We have 1. Is this a polar? It would be a polar when I create my new block. This is in-house block. There's continuous different polars on this, but this block goes against this block that goes against this block. And all these 3 polars is what's going to make everything down. We have to understand it. This is going down and down and down. This is going down. You see this over here? It's going down. This stick over here is going right down the hole. See the way it's going all the way down? This is an open square on top of the buildings. This is 4 corners inside, 360 inside, 360. But this is the 360 that you want. You want to understand your main cube. Here's your main cube. Forget about all this 360. It's this space over here that we want. 1 times, 2 times, 3 times.
And this is where we get our area of space. 1, 2, 3 times. We cannot go through this area. We must go around this area. Or this cube and this cube turns. If this cube turns one left there and this turns one right here, they now change formations. And instead of moving 45 degrees, they move 90. It's all about 45 and 90. It's 8 times 45. It's 9 times 40. But 0 equals 6. 9 times 6 equals to 54. 54 is the area space of the sun, and it's right over here, how the projection is made. You see under this? The reason for this is because what happens is it's going to do this. The way the sun rays come out between the sun rays, because this oscillates. When these two oscillate, it creates points. Poof, poof, like the Big Bang when it comes out. Now we're going to understand this. 1, 2, 3 off the board. 1, 2, 3 off the board. All I'm doing right now, okay, is following the lines. I'm following the lines. I'm not going to draw any birds. You see any birds anywhere? Are you looking down? Oh no, we're not going to draw any birds. So then you see this line over here? Let's take that line over here and let's join it here. Now I'm going to take this line over here and I'm going to join it here. I'm going to take this line over here. I'm going to join it here. If I really want to do it, right, you know what I can do. I could just make the mug and dove it now, right? So I take this line here and then the line here from the stop sign, and I'm going to draw it down here. Right? I should be actually showing you. That's your stop sign. And then what I actually did is I came in and I just continued the line. I continued the whole line, the straight line. The polars of each other, or the polars of each other, the connecting magnets on the outside, and how they shift electromagnetism on the inside. If we take a magnet, okay, and I put a magnet inside a house, will I be able to control the energies with inside that house? And with this star over here, you can distort the energy from one machine to another machine. You can start up another machine, and then transfer the energy. Anyways, it's a way of moving the magnets. So I take this and I bring this here, and I take this and I bring it here. In all actuality, this is now my what's called. But there is no point. There's no point on this because it meets inside this block. The point meets in the middle of the block, showing its true reflection because the middle is in the middle. Then we take this, we follow this line down, we follow this line over, and this is what, now there's the line over here, okay, and the line over here. We take this line down over here, and we go over here, and we take this one over here, and this one over here, and we connect, and we take this one over here, and this one over here, and we connect. Now, if you notice, okay, the sun that has been built, 2, 4, and in here, right, I can't even make this crossing. The only way for me to make this crossing is to make this is an X. And an X will then only show you that the formation closes. And here's your stop sign. How many points? 2, 4, 6, 8. 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners. Now, where's the center? The center is over here, and the center is over here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw a center. You see, the center is being drawn in the middle of the center, in the middle of the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this. I just want to show you the end of the sun. That's over here, the point over here, the point over here, the point that we do not see over here, and the point that you do not see over here. So here's your 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and here's your 1, 2, 3, 4 points, which is right here. Same thing, the stop sign. The points you do not see, exact same figure. Now at the same time, I'm going to show you 1 corner, 2 corners. Now we're going to show you that when we do this, we now split a perfect reflection of itself in half. The stop sign now breaks in half at this point over here. Do you see the way I have a center line over here? But in this one, okay, because of a top and a bottom, I do not run a center line. 1, 2 is when I run. And this one over here, the stop sign, is 1, 2, 3. The stop sign is 2, My true square is this. Now, is it because I made it this size? What if I would have made it smaller? Right? It wouldn't matter because I'm on each side, I'm in between. But with the stop sign, with the go and the stop world, with the red 27 and go green, in which this one over here is the 15 and the 7 ball, both high balls, right? 7 and 6, this over here. Go green, 76. Green is 49. 7 times 7 is 49. 9 by 4 is the 36, the greatest. The greatest of everything. 4 is the highest number. 0, 1, 2, 3 equals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 10. 0, 1, 2, 3 equals 9. 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 9. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals to 4. 4 is the greatest number. You have 4 on the left. You have 4 on the right. You have an area to separate. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, shifting 0. Since 2 is in 3, the only thing that's left is 4 and 2. 4 and 2 equals 0. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. 10 and 9. 90 degrees, 120 degrees, Earth, Earth and Mars. Earth and Mars, Mars and Earth. Earth is this. Earth is a spare. Mars 4 by 9 is 360. This is a 3-wheeler. This is a 4-wheeler. We need more balance. This is what we did here, and this is what we did here. Now, when we run this on the cross, don't forget, we now have to add numbers. Lo, Shu, Chaldean, Gematria, to see the levels of balance. Using the same words, we will find out the levels of balance. So in between here, the reality is this one gets 1 over here. This is 1.5 areas. We will use every single area. I will separate this and do it tic-tac-toe, right? The middle is 5, the left is 1, the right is 9. 1, 5, 9. See this? This automatically makes 4 directions, right? But in the 4 directions is 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here. 2 and 2. Direction over here. Raphael, yes, we're going to do this. If we look at the numbers pad, 1, 5, 9. Now we're going to go 3, 5, 7. Now watch this. Okay, these numbers over here, which are going the opposite way, right? This one's number 23. This one over here is 19. This one over here is 15. This one over here is 11. So what's going to happen is these numbers are going to go this way, while 1, 5, 9, 13, all the way to 99 will go this way. And then what I'm going to do is take these numbers, which also, at the same time, I'm going to go 3, 5, 7, 9, and then in between these numbers over here, this will be 8, this will be 10, this will be 12. These numbers will show me the opposite of these numbers and what they do here. After I intersect all these numbers, I can start reading because I know what they showed up here. And all I'm going to use is 1 to 9 and 3 to 7 because those are my greatest diameters. I don't need to do 2, 4, 6, and 8 right now because 2, 4, 6, and 8 is going to show up in these angles here. As it does. Over here's a 4, over here's an 8, area space. Now when we go the opposite way, 13, 15, 17, 17 begins here. So I'll now put 17 area space with 19 and my X will start right over here. And I'll keep going down the line and I'll keep adding X's until I have formations. Every time I have an X, I'm going to show a block. I have to because I'm going to show 4 corners. I'm going to show the line between 1 and 9. I'm going to show where the crossing point between 3 and 7, and I'm going to find my position. And also, every single number, like 45 and 54, is the in-between area space. 63 and 36. And then there's the French transformation between this word over here and this word over here. Look at the numerological. The French say Nibiru. The English say the sky. This becomes 27 and 21. This becomes 48. This is area space. 6 times 8 is 48. The 9 lives of the cat. So French and English bring this together, and on the roulette, the middle and the right is this. Everything is positioned by 2 by 2s. Nothing goes nowhere without having another number. Nothing goes anywhere without having another number. 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 1, 6. Connect the first two numbers, 4 and 3. Let me, can I do it this way? Let me see. Does it show up better this way? Connect the first two numbers, 4 and 3. Connect two numbers, 8 and 1. Connect two numbers, 9 and 2. Now you only have two choices here. It's either 4, 9 or 4 and 3. It's either 8 and 1 or 8 and 3. It's either 1 and 6 or 6 and 7. You see 1 and 6 is 6 and 7. So if I went 6 and 7 over here, if I went a 6 and 1 over here, 7 would go with 2. See, 2 is in the other world. You have to remember 1 and 2 is what creates the 3. Okay, we don't begin until 4. 4 is the purple ball in pool. It goes with the 12 ball. 1 and 2 start over again at 12. So we begin 4 and 12 equals to 4, 1, 2. That's the bad cat. The 9 lives of the cat. We start over in pool. But in pool, the spirit of 76 is the 15 ball. 1 and 5, the highest number, is 5, not 6, because 6 is a half-life. It's a diamond inside a square. 2, 4, 6, 8. In this scenario over here, 2, 4, 6, 8 now take the corners. But it's a diamond taking over a square. This is low shoe, my friends. This is low shoe numbers. The answer to this is the Twin Towers, 7, 9, 11, 13. 2 and 4, the 9 lives of the cat. 7 and 2, and 4 and 2, and 4 and 9. This is the number we have to follow. This is our number grid. 7 minus 9 is 2. 3 minus 4 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. And now we've replaced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in order if you want to make up the game. What I do want to understand is it takes 265. 65 represents also 1 and 2 as the polar, 1 and 2. But it's one side of the magnet, right? 6 is an area 6. It's got more than one part. It can be split. When I say we can't split the box, we can't split the box because the box needs more numbers on it. This is not the true box. It takes, like I said before, 16 of these. So make 16 of these here, split it, 8 for the above, 8 for the below, and then you can split this box. 16, 16, 16, 48, 48 is 96. Let's cut it in half, and 48 is this side, 48 is this side. And then in between, you add 96, equaling to 192. Why 192? Because it's 7 minus 1 minus, actually it's 6. 6 plus 1, because 6 carries the 1 as the true 7, and then 6 plus 1, or 6 plus 2, and 6 plus 3 equals to your 9. 9 minus 2 equals to your 7, because 6 plus 1 makes your 7. 210, 210, add 1 to 20 in the darts. Put the games together, the numbers tell the truth of their own reality in which I can see the perspective. Can I say that word? UFO, 369. 15, 21, 42. UFO, the 9 lives of the cat. Have you got any luck or give me a clue? 333, 33, 36, creation. In French, they say we. Or oh, it's you and I, eh? Eh? Oh, it's you and I, eh? 21, 30, 45. This one equals to the fox. 3, 6, and 9. 9, 12, 18, 1 and 8, the high heaven. 18, the letter R. H, 8, the letter H. A, the letter 1. H-A-R, high air. Plugging things together on the letter T on the skull bones. Here's my skull bones. The letter T is a skull bone. Because it stays on top of the lines. We outline it. We understand the bull horns that come along with it. We understand the separation between two sides. We understand above and below. If it was all perfect, I'd look to the perfect cards. the picture cards, and understand that the center is where everything goes on. I don't need any legs because it's the center of the situation and it's not the real body, but the body of reality. The cubes that come together in A, B, C, D, and E, E, and F, G, H, and I. Because A, B, C, you can throw them right out because A, B, C come back at you. A comes back at you at 10 when it comes with 2. But 1 and 2 don't start anything until C begins, and that's the blue ball 10. The blue ball 10, 1 and 0 equals 16, and that becomes the white ball. Blue and white, baby blue, bring it into the world. The flags of Israel, the flag of Quebec, and the flag of Greece. When Greece is going to be taken down as it began, then we know the back end of the front end is in Quebec, Quebec, Canada. Here's the letter confirmation. X, K and X, I and X, and K and F. This is the formation automation. What I'm actually trying to say is I can put these two on top of each other if I want these two fill in. See the army stripes? I didn't put the army stripes. My actual first formation is here. See, my first formation is here, and it comes up here. But I just filled in this line and this line, number 11, and I now connected this ship and this ship to this ship here. And it connected 2 diamonds in the center. When I put these 2 ship points together, this is the closest they can get, right? Well, this is the closest they can get. Different formation, this is what happens here. I have to put it this way. If I do not put it this way, it shows a line separating the 2 sides, showing me the true separation is this line over here. And then the true separation is this line over here. Top side, bottom side. Here's a cutoff. You see that where this is cut off? We have to count everything by halves. A square equals an automatic of 2. If it equals 4, it's because there's a crossing line that goes through it, like this one over here. See the crossing line? This one equals to 8 because the crossing line meets on a point. If it meets off the point, it's a 4. It meets on the point, it's an 8. If it's an 8, it means it says joint all 4 sides. If it's a 4, it means it only put an X through the heart of its own square. This is not what I'm showing you as maybe, because that's the reality. I put it where the point. Let me just do this. Let me just do this. I'm cutting this over here, right? Right? I have cut this block. I have cut this block, right? You see the blocks? I cut them each in a half. But this block is a half and a half in 2 different areas. This block takes up 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 2 different areas. But if I would create my exit like this, if you take a look, I'm going to show you that this X did not take any other area with it. This becomes its own square X. This is X, O, meet. This is one whole of itself. This has split itself in half between here and here, but this one is split only itself as its whole, as a chamber. And if this is the chamber, then now it can divide everything around. This one cannot go in here because it would be here and here. The center of this is on the line. I need to actually take this like this. And this, I have to put these 2 together, all this together to make this one because it's 2 separate blocks. I'm not going to start doing this. In this situation over here, the word clue 333-99-666. I haven't got a clue if it's a fox. 333 is 9. INR is 27. 2 and 7 is 9. But 15, in order to create 666, the only way to create 666, okay, to create 9 and 9 is 5 and 4 and 3 and 6. 5 and 4 and 3 and 6. L-O-V-E. L-O-V-E. Love. 15, 1 and 5, 4 and 2 creates 6. E and D creates 9. F and B creates 8. 8 and 9 is 17. EF O equals to the 15th. BDX equals to the 24. 15 and 24 equal to 39. 9 and 6 equals to 15. 8 and 6 equals to 14. The first part of pi, 3.1415. 5 and 4 is 9. 1 and 1 is 2. 5 and 1 is 6. 4 and 1 is 5. That's the first number of pi. This says sky. This says O. It says the O of the sky cat, which means the world of the sky cat. What does the circle mean? What does the circle mean in Nintendo? In games we play with manettes, what does the circle mean? Here's your 4 and 5. This is the IT system of creation of 56. We created 56 in here, the bait system. Why? Because the polar of 1 and 2 is 5 and 6. We transfer. We go from here to here. 1 to 5 equals 6, and we go 5 to 9 equals to 14. 6 and 14, let's begin the game of pool. We'll begin with the game pool in green. Do you see this is an 8? This is an 8. This is an 8. This is an 8 for me. This is a plug-in right here. Poof. It plugs into these two, these two, these two, and these two. There was something else that was missing in this. If you want to continue looking at this, we can put these into arrows over here to which way, and this keeps building on itself through math in its own self. And if you take a look at these corners, they're building shafts going all the way down, the building shaft going all the way down. Why? Because of this. You see this diamond shape over here? Let me show you exactly the way these diamond shapes work. It's actually the Brazilian flag. You can also look at it as the towers or buildings. And then you can end up putting a building over here. So when I say it's a shaft that I see it, I can do it down here just as well as it can go up that way. We did this, we did the cube, we did the face. Remember, 2 and 4. Inside 6 and 6, 2 and 4, all you need. See this 5? 1 inside 4 equals to 5. 1 inside 2 equals to 3. The only reason we don't have 6 is because across 4 and 2, across from each other, halfway between everything. The corners is what makes your circumference. This is the way we're moving. One way we move, right? We have to move one way. We have to be size, we have to be diameter. This is the greatest diameter here, this is the greatest diameter here. This goes by 4s, this goes by 2s. Eventually they meet. Where do they meet? If this one's going by 2, 3, 5, 7, stop. I stop at 7. This one is 1, 5, 9. By the time it gets here, it's surpassed this one ever reaching this corner. In all actuality, if we invert it, okay, if we invert this whole thing, this is 1, this is 3, this is 1, this is 3. This is 3, 5, this is 9, this is 1, 5. What is the difference between 1 to 5 and 3 to 5? Well, we have to add on 2 to both of them. Is that true? No. 1 to 5 equals 4, and 3 to 5 equals 2, 4 and 2, and that's what it's all about. 4 sides and 2 sides. 1 side is up. 4 sides are all around. Every corner gets 3. All the middle corners get 2. All the centers get 1. Spindle in the center. 26 of a 27 block area where the center is chipped in on rotation. When you have the top left, you have 1. When you have the bottom right, you have 1. They're 2 apart. 1, 2, 3, they're 4 apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, they're 5 apart. From here, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only way to get to this one, from here to here is 1, to here, to here, to here. 1, 2, 5, 8. Here you can move easily because it's 1. It's 1 rotation in the center. Move it up, move it down. And since we're playing with everything on top, I'm just showing you from the side. We're moving everything into place. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. We understand the system. We understand the system. We understand how all these numbers come into each other. This is in French and English. They say in French 10, 7. Then they say 10, 8. Then they say 10, 9. This is where you get your 3, 1, 3 from, because they play minus and plus. That is why 7 is the highest number, and then it's A and B, 7, 1, 2. 12 hours of the clock. And I can keep on going on. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus, where everything and every color from yellow and red mixing to create orange to become 5 and 13 in pull, to where 15, where you actually stop numbers at 16 because a perfect square is 16, where you have the 2 polars inside of each other. 1 and 6 are the polars on a cube. On this cube over here showing me 6 sides. That is the number and how I find the polar in the cube. In this cube it's 6. The reality to find the polar in this equals to 54. So how much would a polar give me? It gives me 54 area spaces, right? What is the real angle of this? I said it's 16. 4 by 4 because it's many squares in one. Is that the way we're going to run? Are we going to go just by the 9 system? But we have to know that 9, we have to know, I'm going to just let me speak to explain it better. We have to know that if we start at 1, and 1 isn't anything until it gets to the other corner 3, until it gets to the other corner, which is another 2 again, because the whole cube turns. So it's 2 to every corner. From 1 to 3 is 2. From 3 to 9 is 2. From 9 to 7 is 2. And from 7 to 1 is 2. That's 8. But that's the beginning. We had to start to go from 1 to 3. So we automatically need 10. Although it's 8, we need 10 to have the first step. We got onto the moon, but we didn't take the step on the moon. We landed on the moon. We haven't stepped on the moon. We haven't walked on the moon. So that'll be actually 10. 10 on 6 sides is 60. But one of the sides is down, so it's 50. One of the sides is up, so the side up is 10. The other side around is 40. So it's 40 and 10, which becomes 46 and 16, becomes 62. The letter Z, and then there's a whole other combination, what happens with that, and what people say about, because 2 is where it all began. 1 took 2 steps. I wish I was able to really understand that you got it already, and I don't have to try so hard. And then there's another thing about 703, is that 1 to 36 equals 666, but 1 plus 36 is 37, and 1 to 37 is 703. 712 equals 703, where 0 equals 6. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you. Good afternoon.